በዛሬው ፕሮግራማችን አዲስ ዝግጅት ይዘንላችሁ ቀርበናል። ይኸውም በሲያትል በሳመር ፕሮግራም የሚሰጡ ፕሮግራሞች አሉ። ይህን ፕሮግራም በሲያትል ዩኒቨርሲቲ እና በኤምኤምአርቲአይ እንግዲህ ዋናው ይህንን ሊያመጣ የቻለው በየስለር ኮሚኒቲ ሴንተር የሚገኘው እንግዲህ ፕሮግራም ኮኦርዲኔተራችን አቶ አስፋ ሲሆን እንዲሁም በሲያትል ዩኒቨርሲቲ ፕሮፌሰር የሆነችው ክሊር እንግዲህ ትገኛለች። እስቲ ከነሱ ጋር ሆነን እንግዲህ በእንግሊዝኛ ነው የምንነጋገረው። Thank you for coming to our studio. Can you introduce your name and background, please?
Yes, my name is Claire Garut, and I'm an assistant professor at Seattle University. I teach photography in the Fine Arts Department for the BA and the BFA program, and I have a specialty in documentary practices and documentary photography.
My name is Asfa Sabhat. I work for Parks and Recreation, and I am the director at the Yesler Community Center RecTech.
How do you see this partnership and who are the collaborators here?
Oh, this is a great partnership. Obviously, we're partnering with MMRTI, the Multimedia Resources and Training Institute, and with RecTech at Yesler Terrace. We're also partnering with Youth in Focus and with the Photographic Center Northwest. So Seattle University is very fortunate to be able to work with community partners towards these community-based research and youth outreach programs.
As part of my work, we do serve a lot of almost all age groups, but especially teens. But this year especially is different because it's a multi-organization partnership, like Claire and you mentioned earlier. This is a partnership between Yesler, SU, and MMRTI, and two photographic agencies who are professional agencies doing photography. So this makes the project a little bit different and special.
What is, the process to this project? Can you tell us, the process maybe? What is first we have to do? Summer is here already.
Yes.
Like Claire mentioned, this is a partnership, and as many of you guys, you may know, Yesler Terrace, it has redevelopment, means it will be rebuilt. It's a 20 years project, and a lot of things are happening, a lot of discussions, a big organization is coming, and it will affect the livelihood of hundreds of residents, of public housing residents. So this project is about part of the big picture. So the kids who live around Yesler Terrace and surrounding areas, they will learn about their history, culture, how they will interact, what is the redevelopment things on their lives and their culture. So this project is, like I said, it's a summer program. It's a partnership of 5 or 6 organizations. And as you know, most teens, they like to work in summer. So this is a 6 paid internship program. So that makes it a little bit different. So Claire will explain some details about the technical or day-to-day part of the project.
Yeah, it's kind of a really complex and wonderful complete program because we're going to spend the first 2 weeks working with the Photographic Center Northwest and Youth in Focus, and our participants, our kids, are going to learn how to do analog photography. They're going to shoot film. They're going to process film and work in the dark room. And that's going to be our morning activities. And they're going to photograph the Yesler Terrace neighborhood area for the afternoon, as well as meet with community members. They're going to meet with folks who live there for many years. They're going to work with they're going to meet with nonprofit organizations. We're going to meet with people who are making the plans with the city for the redevelopment. So they're going to learn about the history, the community, and the future of Yesler Terrace. During the second 2 weeks, we're going to switch from analog photography to digital photography and learn intermediate photography skills. So we'll do photo editing with Photoshop. We'll be shooting and continuing to shoot the neighborhood, but in color and digital. We're also going to start learning video, and that's a big deal. So we're going to learn video, and then we're going to devote our time to understanding documentary practices. How do we interview, journalistic practices, and so forth. And we're going to divide ourselves up into different teams to make a shoot plan for who we want to interview, the stories we want to tell about Yesler Terrace. From that shoot plan, we'll move to this last 2 weeks of our time together. We'll learn advanced or more intermediate video skills and advanced photo skills, and the teams will go out. We're basically turning our group into a newsroom We're going to be broadcasting live, we'll be publishing, we'll be doing our stories, we'll be following our shoot schedule that we made the prior 2 weeks, and what we're going to create at the end is a body of photographs with text that speak to Yesler Terrace, a group of photographs with interviews that speak to the history and the individuals that live in Yesler Terrace, and we're going to have an archive about Yesler Terrace, and hopefully this is the first of the 20 years to come that documents the changes that are going to happen in that neighborhood.
I think really the things you mentioned are big and really very important. And besides, the youth are getting money. I don't know, this kind of project, people usually pay a lot of money to get this kind of project. How do you accommodate? When we announce this, for sure there are going to be hundreds of young people coming up to this project. How do you limit? What's the criteria for this?
Well, we've talked a lot about that. You want to?
Yeah, like we discussed it, like you said earlier, this is a paid program, and a lot of teens will not only come and learn the experience, but also they will have those technical skills. Like you said, a lot of people pay to get those technical skills. In our case, though, people will come and learn these things. They will work with others. They learn photography, video, computer technical skills, interview, teamwork, but at the same time, they get paid about $599.
The students, I think they get advantage of everything we do on this project. But what is the benefit for the community and also for the university?
Well, I think the benefit for everyone is that we're talking about a specific neighborhood. We're talking about Yesler Terrace and the large area around Yesler Terrace and a specific issue of redevelopment. So I think the benefit for the community is we're going to be working with youth who will see themselves as agents, as advocates, as a voice, of authentic voice within their neighborhood, to see themselves also as participants within the larger whole, working towards a project that speaks with and for their own community. And that's tremendous. That's great. So I think that's probably the main benefit. For the university, to be able to reach out, to be accepted to work with community members, not just our nonprofits, but with members of the community, these young people, and the other community members around Yesler Terrace who allow us to interview and to visit us and to tell us about the history of that neighborhood. It's just a tremendous sort of privilege, I think, because there's academic research and all of that, stuff that goes on in the classroom. But until our students, who will be mentoring these youth and interning also in this project, until our students, for example, in the photography program, have a chance to see documentary works being made that are community-based, it's very difficult for them, I think, to imagine what that kind of work is like. And so it gives our students a real inside sort of experience working with community members, side by side, and watching documentary projects grow. And it's just going to make them better documentarians and better also, I think, citizens,
Mm-hmm. I think Yesler Terrace, especially Yesler Community Center, is at the center of it. And what do you think as far about telling the community's benefits on this project? More about the community.
This is a time where a big change is going to happen for the last 4 or 5 years. It's a community where a lot of immigrants and refugees come, resettle, and it's communicate to each other. It's a place where their kids come after school, spend 4 or 5 hours. It's a place, it's their life. It's where they spend a lot of hours playing, studying, communicating with each other. So this gives us a chance as a youth, as a different organization participate, giving the kids a chance to learn about their neighborhood, to learn about themselves, like I say, it's different refugee groups from Somalia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Southeast Asia, and Vietnamese. So it's a very complex and diverse population. So this will give us a chance for the youth to work together, learn from each other, and produce something tangible and a creative thing for themselves.
I think that that is part of our process in the second 2 weeks. I certainly have ideas. I know that we have ideas as to who we'd like to see interviewed and included in this big documentary project that we're ultimately creating. The kids themselves, after they have 2 weeks of visiting with, representatives from the city and the housing authorities and the neighborhood, those guys are going to take that information that they learned during the first 2 weeks, and they're going to create a shooting plan and decide who they want to create a story with. So they'll make their list and they'll make their appointments. Obviously, I mentioned some categories. We would like to have representatives from the city and Seattle neighborhoods and housing. We would like to have representatives from the neighborhood parents and longtime residents. We would like to exhibit the wonderful diversity of the neighborhood and the diversity of opinions and voice. I think that, with some guidance, obviously, in the second 2 weeks, as we make our shoot plan for our last 2 weeks, we're going to be pretty broad in who, because the neighborhood is so diverse, and there's such a amazing different, group of, there's the city, there's the nonprofits, it's just complex. And when we're thinking about the redevelopment of Yesler Terrace, it's nothing but complex. So, our students, our documentarians, have a lot of work to do. And that's part of the joy of this project, is it's going to really help them, I think, step up and see themselves as creating something authentic to their own voice.
Yeah, as the media, as a youth media, especially Ethio Youth Media TV program, usually we document events, some cultural or community. But this is the first time, to document, especially as a documentary organized, in 6 weeks. It's not easy to do it in 6 weeks. Really, it needs a lot of hard work and participation, and especially, as a community voice, it is other than like mainstream media. To do this kind of project is not, easy, and it's good, for everybody, for organizations involved in this kind of. So what's going to be at the end, after we document, what is the outcome, or what are we going to do at
the outcome, or the final project, is a collection of pictures, videos, audio, sound. So that's an exhibit or archive of pictures, history of the presidents, their voices, their images will be displayed at the community center, and we have a schedule.
Yes, we have scheduled in September, October an exhibition at Seattle University as well, and we'll plan events to invite our participants, our youth, our documentarians, and our community at Yesler Terrace to come to these events. And ideally, these are opportunities. There's multiple layers of opportunities, I think, in these kind of programs to create more dialogue within the community, to create more cohesiveness with the youth to their community. As I said, I think it's really great if they see that they have, they are able to be advocates for their community, for themselves, and they recognize their agency, which is enormous. So we hope to create a dialogue, of course. Documentarians and journalists tend to want people to read and to see and to look at their works so that they can create dialogue and awareness and further understanding.
I think this is a big project. Really, we're going to be crowded, I think. So many young people are going to be registered. Do you have any messages? The registration is very soon. I think it's already started.
Yeah, I just encourage you to check out our application and to read a little bit on the application about the program, to think about your participation, and I encourage you to apply.
Yeah, for more information about the program, you can contact MMRTI, the Youth Media, at the Yesler Community Center, at the Computer Lab, and soon we will have the application will be open for participants on Parks and Recreation RegTech/RegTech website, but like I said, it's much better or easier to call or stop by at MMRTI. Thank you.
Okay, I think for MMRTI it's a pleasure to have you here and to make really this partnership. Hope it will continue in the future.
Absolutely.
And this will be our final message. If you have questions, you can call 838-6359 or you can come to in Jackson to our office. Thank you very much. እሺ ተመልካቾቻችን እንግዲህ እንደሰማችሁት በጣም ልዩ የሆነ ፕሮጀክት ለወጣቶች በሳመር ወቅት የሚሰጥ ነው። ወጣቶቹ እንግዲህ በፎቶግራፊ በቪዲዮ እና እንዲሁም ዶክመንተሪ ኢንተርቪው በማድረግ የሚሰሩት ፕሮጀክት ይሆናል። ይህን ማስታወቂያ ደጋግመን እናስታውቃችኋለን። በቴሌቪዥን ፕሮግራም ይሁን በየስለ ኮሚኒቲ ሴንተር ሄዳችሁ መመዝገብ ትችላላችሁ። እኛም ጋር አፕሊኬሽኑ ይኖርናል። እንግዲህ በሚቀጥለው ፕሮግራም እስከምንገናኝ ደህና ሰንብቱ።
ልክና በመብላት መጠጣታችን ለለው ተጋዘን በመስራት የሀገራችንን እድገት የምናይበት ጅምር እንዲሆን የእግዚአብሔር ቅዱስ ፈቃዱ ይሁንላል። መልካም በዓል፣ መልካም ጊዜ። መልካም ጊዜ እንዲሆን አሁን ይጠበቃል ከኛ ላላህ የቅዱስ መንፈስ ማደጋው ቢያደርግ ዛሬን እናስበት በመንፈስ ሰብስበት ይሰማል ውስጤን ዘንብሎ የጨለመው ሌሊት ሲነጋ ያን ጊዜ የቱ ጋር ናት ብለው አጠያይቀው ይመጣሉ ኢትዮጵያ ዓለም ሁሉ ይብሻል ያኔ አዛዥ ልጅ ናት ለፈጣሪ የሁለት ሺህ ዓመታት ምሕረቱን ተቀብለሽ በፍቅር ስትኖር